So listen, guys, I got a call from a lady and she wanted to know, hey, my house has been on the market for at least 2 months. What am I doing wrong? I'm getting showings, but no offers. Is there something I'm doing wrong? And quite frankly, no. But before I can truly advise anybody on what to do and how to do it, if you got a realtor, first and foremost, consult with the individual you hire to represent you and your home throughout this process, right? So always know, don't call me asking, what can I do? How can I do? And you under some type of contract with somebody. I love my license and I ain't losing them for none of y'all. So I'm just letting you know that, all right? But here's the thing. She's not alone. Many of you viewers are feeling the same thing. Why is my house still sitting? Why is it not going the way I want it to go? Normally, houses is moving 2 or 3 days off the market. Well, guess it's not COVID anymore, guys. The market, this is real estate. And there's some things that's going on in the market that I'm going to address today. So guess what? Trust me, 2025 market right now, there's some changes that has been made, and we just got to adapt. We got to adjust to it. So before we start your favorite podcast, Your House is Key podcast, I just want to let you know, we're going to talk about 10 questions that I've received throughout my messages, throughout, Instagram, Facebook, out of all the questions. I got the top 10 sellers asked questions, or the top 10 questions the sellers asked me, how you want to put it. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share for your favorite podcast with your favorite realtor, me, Donnell Shepherd, the Your House is Key podcast. Let's go.
It's now time for the #1 podcast at iHeartRadio. It's Your House is Key, the podcast that opens the door to your dream home. Hosted by the remarkable Donnell Shepherd, he's your trusted guide in the world of real estate. Whether you're buying your first home, selling your current one, or simply curious about the market, this podcast is your one-stop shop for all things real estate. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host and my good friend, Donnell Shepherd.
All right, so welcome. All right, now that we're here in the podcast, hey, the number 10 question I received: why do deals fall apart the last minute even though buyers are pre-approved? Well, that's a good question. And here's the thing, being pre-approved is not a guarantee. Being pre-approved is not a closing on a platter. There are some things that buyers still must do in order to make sure that this closing makes it to the table. They can't quit their job. They can't use credit cards. They can't increase their DTI. And then also, they got to make sure that all the numbers they're giving to their lenders are truthful. Some people do things. I did a podcast before and I talked about, or TikTok or something, and I talked about when you win a lottery or you go to the casino, did you deposit all of it? Did you not? Did you take a gift and you didn't report it? So just because the buyer comes through your house and they're pre-approved is not a guarantee that you're going to close today. It is one step further and letting them know that they're starting to be or have been properly vetted, but I can't guarantee it's a closing. All right. Hopefully that was enough. So number 9, is staging really that important, or is it just a realtor thing? Woo-hoo. Well, first of all, it's not just a realtor thing. Just wanted to let you know that. It can be a psychology behind buying the house, right? If you asking me about how I feel about staging, the question is, are you staging to stage or are you staging to live? And that's a difference, right? Because if you're staging it somewhere like I would want to live, or how you're currently living and it's a lifestyle, you're going to be able to see the functionality of the home. If you're just staging because I want the house to look good and hopefully somebody buy it out for my vision, you put an IKEA table and a chair and a blow-up mattress. Next. So staging can be helpful, but it is a definitely needed conversation between you and your realtor. That's why you hire the expert, right? I've seen many of the homes sell without staging, and on the same side or the other side of the coin, I've seen a lot of homes sell with staging because some people need a vision. Some people don't like your vision. Some people will take a perfectly done home, sleek, shiny, agreeable gray, and get in, buy it, and guess what? Change everything about it. So really, it is a toss-up. It's not just a realtor thing because it's a lot more that goes into it besides just staging. So check your budget and make sure it lines up to what you really want to do. Hopefully that was helpful. Let's go. Number 8. My home is beautiful. Do I really need professional photos or video tours? No, I ain't mean to laugh at y'all question though, but well, yes. Yes, you do. Because you know why? What they say, pictures say 1,000 words. I'm tired of seeing, and other realtors are too. Why do we need the iPhone photos or the Android, whatever you are, team whatever, green or blue? If you have this huge investment in your hands that could potentially change your life or someone else's life, why not take the time to pay a little more for the proper photos to display it in the proper lighting you're gonna need? Now, again, no disrespect to my laugh at it, but I can tell when you took a cell phone photo and your house didn't sell because people are looking at it. Well, if you took it at this angle, or if you did this, well, where's the lighting? How come it just don't look? Now, I'm not saying photos are the only thing, but photos get people there. So if your photos aren't right, how are they gonna show up? But here's the thing too. I don't know who's doing it. Maybe somebody gonna like my video, maybe not. But we used to have rules or laws about Photoshop, and I've been in some houses where it looked like they done played hold on, shit. Let me tell about this. Let me jump on my soapbox. I done been in some houses where they look like they got $1 million photographer because the photo is nothing like what it looks like in person. So I done drove from Clifton, Westchester to Fairfield, bruh. My 7-year-old photography skills is killer. They didn't have right focus photography, bruh. Or maybe they did, and that's how the pictures got so clean. But I'm just telling you this right now. Yes, you want professional photos. All right, off the box. Whew, man, I'm listening. I might need you to make me another drink when I get to these questions because they got me. Hope y'all enjoying yourself. So, number 7. The market feels slower. Should I wait to list? Well, slow doesn't mean stop. Okay? So you're saying, should I wait to list? Well, I even talked about this on the news, right? If you have the trifecta, and in order to get the trifecta, and I'm going to tell you what it is, excuse me, you got to prepare. You got to prepare to sell your house. You got to get mentally prepared. You got to almost get ready to walk around on eggshells, because if you have the proper location and you have the proper condition, that's going to determine the proper price, right? But again, just have to have some patience, because a Westchester market may not move as fast as a Hamilton market. And neither one of them may not move as fast as Clifton, which is a college town or a college area where investors or other people want to buy property because schools are starting and they want their kids to have something. So it's about understanding where you are, because to who's slow, right? Is it the national slow? Or is it your neighborhood? Or even in some areas, it's the street. So again, yes, it may feel slower. Should you wait to list? If you need to sell or you want to sell so you can find your dream home, then do it. But have the conversation to understand what the possible timeline could look like. But it does not mean stop, because homes, here's the thing. You didn't say the market froze. You just said it's slower. So that means they're still selling, just not, let me guess, at the speed as they were doing 2, 3 years ago, right? It's not, again, guys, I'm going to keep repeating it. It's not COVID. You know, you may get rubbed the wrong way. I don't know what to tell you, but right expectations, conversation up front with you and your expert realtor. If it was me, you would know these things. I can't say other people aren't telling them, but I'm just telling you. All right. So no, don't wait. Let's go. Matter of fact, I got a buyer right now looking for 3-bedroom, 2 full, and 1 half bath. And they out here and people looking. The market's moving. All right. Number 6. Why am I only getting lowball offers? So here's the thing, right? You see, you talking, why am I only getting lowball offers? Well, I have a question. Did you overprice it? Are you in a bad area? What kind of condition is the house in? I said it. Where's your mindset? Or are you a for sale by owner? What expectations do you truly have based off of what data? Right? And let's see. What does your presentation look like? Are you prepared? There's not much I can really say to that, but you may be getting low ball offers because the market is really trying to tell you something. Not that people are trying to get over on you. You might want to listen. Again, talk to your trusted advisor. Number 5, do I really have to fix everything before I sell? Well, I like this one. And it reiterates what I said, LCP, right? You used to hear location, location, location. Yes, location plays a role. But if the condition of the house and a great location is bad, you might get that low ball offer that they just asked about the question before. If the location's bad, but the condition's good and you price it over high, again, there's so much, right? So I wouldn't say you need to fix everything. I would say you need to fix the major things. You need to fix the things that you know once it's disclosed that no matter what is going to have to be fixed. So spend the money now. You don't want to waste coming off of market, going back on market because you chose not to fix things. And if there's a price that you want to get to, well, guess what? Present the house to the future you. How do you want to buy the house? What issues? Because as you are a seller, that means you're soon to be a buyer. What problems do you want? You want to be in a competitive space. Now, Home Depot fixes, but if it's something you could take 2 seconds and screw it, then fix it. But if it's major, again, you're either going to pay now or you're going to pay later. Which one you want to pay? But everything, that's stretching. Major things and being competitive, definitely fix them. But again, you know how that conversation goes and who it should be with. Let's see. Number 4. What's the deal with all these contingencies buyers are asking for? Well, you got 2 options. You can accept it or not. But I know that doesn't answer your question. But so contingencies are a buyer's safety net, right? An inspection is a contingency. An appraisal is a contingency, especially if it's a finance loan, right? You know, there's you got the inspection, you got the appraisal. Those are your major ones, right? And each one is a renegotiation period, honestly. If you put an offer in, they accept it, guess what? Your first contingency or negotiation is your inspection. Are you going to fix these things? Well, if not, let's talk about it. Once you agree, you open up, and here's the thing. The contingency that you do or do not choose to handle could determine whether or not you remain in a contract. It really does. I can't tell a buyer will go one way or a seller. I've seen so much out here, but it is a safety net. And then guess what? After we agree on the inspection, here comes the appraisal. If the house doesn't appraise, are you going to do an appraisal gap? Are you coming for the buyer? Is the seller coming down on the price? Or are you two going to meet together on it? That's up to you guys. But contingencies help keep the buyer protected. You got to meet the layers of their expectations just like they got to meet yours, right? So I don't see anything wrong with contingencies. It's about understanding exactly what the contingencies are that they put in place and how it can affect you. So that's what, and it's not a new thing. It's not. They've been here. It's, again, some markets, people are waiving inspections. People aren't asking for closing costs. Some people aren't. Some people have a high enough, what is it? I think it's ratio to where banks will, or there's enough equity in a home where the banks will waive the appraisal. So there, I mean, you got to figure out what's right for you. So it's not new. It's just, wouldn't you want a safety net? I would. Number 3, how do people manage selling and buying a home at the same time without going crazy? You want to know how they do that? Right here. If you're not a drinker, it's okay. Grape juice, whatever. No, I'm just joking. You manage it by having a strategy. That's called a contingency sale or a contingency buy. Like we just, why do people have contingency? That is when I have a house to sell, but I want to go buy a house. And in order for me to buy your house, I need the funds from this house. So now that deal becomes a contingent. To buy this house, I need these funds. And Mr. Seller or Mrs. Seller or family or whoever, you have to decide whether or not that's good enough for you. And how do they keep from going crazy is the real question. Is having a strategy, understanding how to maneuver, understanding the communication, finding and interviewing a realtor who can lay out a plan on if this is the situation. One, they know up front. So that's part of your pre-approval process as that realtor either introduce you to a lender or you have your own lender. 2, it's now that we know this, how does this look? Are we putting more money down? Are we asking for closing costs? Are we waiving this? Are we not waiving that? Because what you're asking, for the understand, so you understand, hey, seller, I know you have a new house that hits a market that I want to buy, but I still got to sell my house. But I'm going to make an offer on your house because I know my house is going to sell. So can you accept my offer, take your house off the market while I leave my house here, hoping and praying it's going to sell? Well, some people will, depending on how the relationship in this industry is all for relationships. You don't burn bridges, but also it's about how you present your offer over as well. What do you have backing you? How much are you putting down? Is the house on the market already? Is it not on the market? And then understanding you need to get just enough. And some people may not like this advice. I'm going to give you a tip. For me, are you trying to be greedy, Mrs. Seller buyer? You know, the person who has the house to sell in order to buy the house. Are you trying to be greedy on how much money you're truly trying to make? Or do you want to make, or can you make enough to get you where you want to be and still be able to pay this house off and roll the cash over? Because honestly, if it's presented right, there's a lot of agents and sellers who are okay with it. Trust me. I had a client. We were selling their house to buy a house, and the house that they were buying needed to sell their house to buy the next house. And it all worked out fine because the communication, the understanding, the timelines, the planning, there's so much to go through it, but it's about, again, hiring, interviewing it, understanding, and having an expert be able to break it down. And it's not just a realtor. It's having a dope lender who can help maneuver and navigate and keep everybody abreast of what's going on if there's some changes. Again, don't quit your job. Don't make any subtle movements. Don't mess up your DTI. Don't mess up your credit. Don't go buy a brand new TV or a car. Like, there's so much you don't need to do, but it's very doable. And with the right team behind you, you don't have to go crazy. I promise you that. All right. Number 2. Hey, we wind it down. Ooh, wee. How do I handle a low appraisal if I already have a strong offer? Whew. That, guys, is called an appraisal gap. If a buyer is willing to do it. So honestly, there's only so many things you could do as a seller, right? If you have a strong offer, obviously it sounds like, just say if it's asking, right? You list your house for 300 and they come in and give you 300 and it appraises for 290. There's 10,000 missing off the table, and the bank is only going to lend on the 290. So Mr. or Mrs. Seller, you got some options. One, you lower the price and get the house sold. 2, you can walk away and just say, you know what? Because here's the thing. With a conventional loan, the appraisal is only as good as that day. Now, with an FHA and a VA, I just want you to understand, whatever that house appraises for today, we'll stick with the house, I think 3 months or maybe 6. Just know the appraisal is stuck. So just keep that in mind. It's not bad. There's nothing wrong. Just understand. So if it's a conventional loan, you can walk away and say, I'll take somebody else, or buyer, do you have another bank, or can we ask for a reappraisal? You can contest the appraisal. You can ask for it to be reevaluated. So that you can do on the lending end. So again, you can come down on price and get it sold. You can walk away. You can ask for it to be reappraised so you can test it. Or you can say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, since we're 10 grand away, would you like to meet in the middle? Let's help each other out. We got one common goal here. You want to move, I want to move. We want to be happy. Let's enjoy the closing together. Or you can say, hey, buyer, are you coming up? Because we're not moving, which kind of takes us back to the beginning. Again, that's a conversation with your expert, understanding the situation that you're currently in and what truly needs to be done to get you to your maximum end goal. And what I always tell people, just remember, you were either once this buyer when you bought this house, or one day you will be this buyer. Whether I believe in blessings. Some people believe in karma, but at the end of the day, what goes around will. I'm not telling you how to spend your money. I'm not telling you how to handle a deal. What I'm saying is be realistic. If we got one common goal, again, talk to your expert and let them tell you, but do it together. Don't let them tell you. Work together as a team. You guys are a team. When I'm hired, I used to say I work for you. Had a client that was like, listen, you say it again, I'm gonna fire you. You work with me. So yes, I work for you, with you. But at the end of the day, we together, you, myself, and your lender, if it is a buyer, if it's a seller, myself, you and your family, or your goals or your reasons, we come together and we understand the agenda, the task, and we execute it. As they say, understand the assignment. All right, guys, listen. We at number 1. I hope this number 1 is good enough for you. I put in this order. Dun, 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 dun. So number 1. What's the number 1 mistake I can't afford to make when selling my home? You know what the question is? Well, I'm going to tell you anyway. Overpricing your house. I had to get loud on that one, man. I'm sorry. Again, it's not COVID. Let's be frank. No one cares about what your neighbor did 4 years ago, 3 years ago. What is your neighborhood saying today? What is the street saying today? What is the data saying? What happened 6 months ago? What updates did you make? What condition it is in? It's 2025 and your house looks like 1994. Come on, y'all. I get it. Again, the location condition determines the price. But even then, there's also, a lot of people don't like to hear this. There's a thin line between greed and success. Getting paid and being greedy. What they say, pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. Some people don't like that. You didn't come here to be all lovey-dovey. You want the truth. You want the real. And that's what I want to give you. Don't overprice it. And then it's like everything I said before, you got to have patience. But the most thing, don't overprice it. Have an expert that's going to say, based off of these numbers, based off of this traffic, seeing what I saw in the last 3 weeks, 2 months, 6 months, here's the data of what we have. Now, there is some areas where you can create your own comps and people jump based off of the school district or based off of the area and or based off of, just the location and condition. People want that product. But even then, you can still overprice it. So you still want to be in a competitive market to the point where it's not only is it shiny, bright, sleek, and new, it's enticing. And I want to make an offer too. Oh, y'all like that. See, because it rhymes. You know why it rhymes? Because it's real and all rhymes is real. No, I'm just joking. But listen, don't overprice your house. That's the number one thing you can afford to do, because once you do, nothing else matters. People are going to wait. They're going to play that game. They're going to wait you out and see who blinks first. So again, guys, man, I hope you liked the podcast today. Today, we're doing the top 10 questions from sellers 2025, the first half of the year of selling a home. Why is it not selling? What can I do? How can I do it? Just giving you advice. Again, remember, like, subscribe, and share it. Even if it wasn't for you and you didn't like it, but you know somebody else did, share it anyway. If you want to talk about me, share it. You want to laugh at me, share it. At the end of the day, share it. Maybe somebody can learn, and maybe you did too. It's your favorite realtor, Donnell Shepard, with the Your House is Key podcast. And always remember, with me, your house is key. Peace.
Thanks for listening to Your House is Key with Donnell Shepard. Each week, Donnell dives into essential tips, insider secrets, and expert advice to help you navigate the exciting journey of home ownership and home selling. From understanding market trends and finding the perfect neighborhood to even securing financing, staging your home, and closing the deal, there's only one guy that gets it done. Donnell Shepard, right here at yourhouseskey.com.